Hey everyone, it's Robin, RsIslandCrafts, and welcome to my studio. This is my Whip It Wednesday video where I show you the crafty goodness that I've been working on this week. I'm so glad you guys enjoyed the Missouri Star Quilt Company template giveaway video. I'll be choosing a name probably around the same time you're watching this video. The video comes out at 5:45 in the morning. I will not be choosing a name that early on, but come back a few hours later, maybe around noon Arizona time, and check your comment on the video. If your name was chosen as a winner, then I'll have left a comment underneath your comment. And then all you need to do is send me your mailing address. My email is down below. It's the Show and Tell with Robin. Scroll down below in the description box and it's all the way towards the bottom. These are my templates, but yours will have the paper on it, and I have all the packing material ready to go to send it to the lucky winner. Now remember, there were other items also in the giveaway. The applique bits and pieces that I'd already prepped but didn't use. The quilt block. The little ornaments. The gift card, not a gift card, the note card, that's what it's called. The note card and the fabric postcard. I actually had so much fun making these. I started working on the snowman cards for this year's Christmas cards, and they each have so many little pieces that need to be fused, cut out, fused onto the snowman, stitched around and everything, that I thought, you know what? I'm going to switch, and I'm going to switch to the templates and start making different. With all those little pieces, I decided that it would be much easier to make 50 sweater, or maybe mitten, or hat, or the Christmas tree, to make different postcards like that than to try to do those snowmen. I've already traced out all of the bits for the snowman onto the heat and bond, and I've started fusing them to fabric. So the snowman postcards will happen, but I think since we're already into August that maybe I can mix and match, do some snowmen and some of the templates, or all of the templates or something, but it'll be a surprise. We'll figure it out when it gets closer to Christmas. So I did make a couple more of these just because I love the sweaters. And I'd like to make some more of the mittens, possibly the hats. I think the mittens are my favorite. Maybe I'll make some of the Christmas trees on felt. That would be fun too. And they can become ornaments or bunting. That's the fun thing about ornaments like this. You can go ahead and hang them on the tree and use them as gift tags. Or since they already have the little loops on them, you can string them up on ribbon or yarn or whatever and create your own buntings like that. So just make sure you double check to see if you are one of the winners of one of the items. I also use that tree template to make the zipper pouch. Now normally I go with a lighter lining on the inside just to make sure that you can easily see what's in there. You see how dark it gets? But this one, it just had this fun red lining, and I just wanted to do red, red, red everywhere, and I thought that would be nice. And I went with a white tassel for two reasons. One, I do like the white tassel and how bright it is like snow. And two, I don't have any more red tassels. Plus I noticed with the red tassels, it's the hardest color to match. If you've ever tried to match reds in a quilt, you'll know that every red is a little orange red, or maybe it's a little more towards like of a blacker red. And it's really hard to get a nice red to match another red. This little mini is one of my favorites from the week. I really love the little gingerbread house. It looks like an ice cream sundae. It's such a fun piece of fabric. And then this pink sparkly. It is really super sparkly. There, you could see that. And I thought it would be really fun. Now this is a bit bright and colorful for Christmas, but a lot of people do decorate with the pinks and purples and blues and stuff for Christmas. Plus, this doesn't have to be Christmas. It's very winter scene to me. And who says you can't leave it out year round? Just because this is shaped like a mitten doesn't mean you can't leave it hanging up year round. I would. And then I used a fun snowflake aqua binding. Now my patrons and I, we worked on a scrappy project. We made these little snack mats. Here is one, And then here is the other. Of course, I made too many scraps and I made it too big so that I was able to trim it off and go ahead and make 2 mats out of it. And on the backs, I used the Fun Gnome. You can see the quilting on the back where it's just all wavy lines. I did that on both of them. And then I just stuck with a white binding because I thought the white binding would be nice to pop against. Now these are the Christmas fabrics from my Christmas stars and another Christmas windmills. And yes, I still have more of the scraps left, but I'm not sure if I'm going to play with them much more this year. Depends on how my interest goes. And if something says, hey, this looks good, let's use those fabrics. I did order a gray fabric to go with our pumpkins for this weekend's live stream. We'll be going live this Saturday at 11 a.m. Arizona time. The sky has been very quiet all morning. I start making this video and the jets just start flying over constantly. But I did get the fabric in for the gray backing. We were talking about someone had suggested trying the Moda Grunge. So I went onto the Missouri Stars website and I did find a Moda Grunge. I went ahead and got a 108-inch wide backing piece. This is the Moda Grunge gray paper. And of course, 2 days after I purchased it, it went on sale. Isn't that how it always happens? I went with the Missouri Star because I know with their website that they ship it really quick, that I'll have everything within a week, so that I knew I would have it in time for our live stream and in time to cut all the pieces out for, what are we working on? We are working on this pumpkin quilt, the mini pumpkins from Cluck Cluck Sew. So I need to cut out all of the gray so we can make the stem and the leaves, and also all of the gray for the sashing in the background. I was a little surprised at the way this fabric feels. It feels and almost sounds like a sheet for the bed. More jets. You know, sometimes fabric just has not a rough feel to it, but it's hard to describe unless you've had this fabric before. And I'm wondering, it shouldn't matter if it's 108 wide backing versus regular fabric. I wonder if it's the color, because I have a lot of the Moda different grunges and it feels rough. The Moda Grunge feels rough and it feels a little bit thicker. Now this is fine. You can't see through it or anything. It's a great feel to the material and stuff. I was just a little surprised that it feels a little bit different. So here is the salvage. It's the basic gray. Maybe because it's basic, is the basic line different than a regular grunge? I'm not really sure. I was just, as I said, I was just really surprised, but it's going to work out fine. The fabric doesn't want to stick to it, so I can show you what it looks like. But let's see if we can do it. So I think that's going to work out really well. It's not bright like the white. It's not exactly the same as this gray. This gray is a little bit darker, but I really like it. And it was going to be one of those things that it doesn't really matter what it looks like. This is the gray I'm going to use because I need it in time for the live stream. And I like that it has, because it's the grunge, so you have different bits of gray. You'll have some light splotches and some darker splotches. So depending on where you cut it and everything like that, but I think it's going to turn out really nice and it's going to be perfect. Someone already called dibs on this quilt, so if you are thinking you might want one, please let me know in an email and I will go ahead and start cutting out for a second one for you. I'm thinking I want to cut out more anyways and make a version for myself, but maybe just a 9-patch. I don't need to have anything huge, just something small that I can hang up here on my mini wall during the fall season. Because I think a 9-patch would be fine, because this measures 23.5 by 29, which really isn't that large. When I was doing the live stream, I was comparing it to my cutting mat. My cutting mat is a larger one. It is 36 by 24, so it is a good size. But when I looked at it, 23.5 by 29 isn't huge. It's enough to be a wall hanging, but not like a mini wall hanging like I collect up there. So if I just cut it down and do 9, and I think I'll do all of the patchwork scrappy versions, unless I want to try one fabric in there, I might have 1 or 2 solids, maybe just in the center, because I really like this fabric. I think that might be fun to have in the center. It's not fall. It does have a little bit of a springtime look to it, but maybe this is the one I'll put in the center. And then I'll just have the 9 patchwork around it. I think that would be really fun. Now, dealing with wide backing can be a little bit troublesome, especially when a lot of the pieces you're going to cut are 1.5 inches or 2.5 inch strips. I tried to get a basic idea of how much I'm going to need, and since I'm not using it as a backing fabric, I'm going to be using it as background and other pieces like that. I'll either just cut off maybe a quarter, I want to say a 1/4 yard of it, but 1/4 by the 108. I might just cut 10 inches by 108 or something like that. I might even just take my 6.5 inch ruler and lay it down and cut it and then just work from there. That way I can keep this on the shelf and I can work with smaller bits versus trying to maneuver all of this fabric. 108 inches is a lot to try to maneuver around on the table. And this is 1 yard, so it's 108 by 36. So I hope you can join me for the live stream or to catch the replay later this weekend. Okay, that's it for what I've been working on. Let me show you a couple of things that have come into the house recently. I went ahead and I purchased a new pattern. It's been out of stock for a while, so I've been waiting for it, and then it popped up on the Etsy shop, and I had a coupon for like 10 or 15% off or something. This is the Patchwork Duffel Mini by Knot and Thread Design. Now this mini duffel, it only measures 10 inches high, 17.5 inches wide, and 8.5 inches deep. So there you can see everything on the back. And the regular one is one of those big duffels that you can take for traveling and stuff like that. But I thought this one would be a lot better for weekend trips, or maybe for going to like quilt retreats. Maybe you just want to store quilting things in it or something like that. And I really love the patchwork idea. So I thought this would be fun to make soon. And of course, you don't have to do patchwork just because it's called that. You can just use the one fabric. I want to see what kind of mini charm squares, jelly roll or something that I can find to make with this. It says that I need 12 fat 8s to make this, or just 1 yard. So I'll have to see what it is, and I think with a jelly roll it should be no problem to go ahead and make it. 1 jelly roll or the equivalent, some mini charms, a couple charm packs or something like that. I can always purchase more or find complementary fabrics in my stash. I would just like to use one fabric line to make the first one, and then maybe just play with scraps after that. Oh, I need to get a 30-inch double-side handbag zipper also. That is very important. I know I don't have any double-sided zippers, because when you're doing the duffel bag, you want to be able to have both zippers in the center and go like this versus going like that. So that's a very important thing. Or you can just use... Did you guys hear that noise? I have no idea what that noise was. Anyway, you could also buy the zipper by the yard and just put 2 zippers on, right? Whoever uses zippers by the yard, let me know. Can you put your zippers on in 2 different directions when you're using that? Because I do have some purple. I don't know if it's, I know it's not handbag zipper, which means it doesn't have a big fat zipper with the wide tape. I think it's just a regular zipper. So I'll have to look and see. Maybe Missouri Star has some zippers like that. Otherwise, I'll go on to Zip It on Etsy and just see if I can find them there. So I thought that would be a really fun, more of a full weekend project. I don't know how long it will take. The patchwork wouldn't take that long, especially if you're using jelly roll strips, because it's not like you're gathering the scraps and cutting them. And then the quilting wouldn't be that long. And I guess it really shouldn't take very long compared to like a tote bag or something. So that has been on my list. I would like to make one even smaller. Once I have the whole idea of how it works, maybe I'll just make it a little bit smaller. My daughter picked me up something in her travels recently. She picked up a cross stitch project. I'm not doing very much cross stitch. I just have the scarecrow I'm working on right now. I haven't decided yet whether or not I want to do the snowman, but she thought this was really pretty because it looks like a rug. And for my daughter, what catches her eye all the time is red, black, and gray. So this finished piece is, the stitch count is 121 by 153. Oh, it finishes 8.5 by 11. So that's a sheet of paper. So that's not too bad. And I think I should be able to do where you do like the outlines and then just fill it in, and that does make it a lot easier. The border is going to be really the easiest part because it's so dense. You can just put a line of the red all the way around, fill in those black stitches, and then just fill it all in as you're going. That does make it go a lot quicker. So we'll see. And this is on 14 count Aida, so that's not too bad. And it's actually an older kit. It's from 2013. My daughter and her friend went on a tour of nearby Arizona. She just moved here from maybe Pennsylvania or something to also work in Mission Barbecue. So the first two Mission Barbecues that are going to be open in Arizona will both have female general managers, and I think that's pretty cool. But my daughter said wherever they went, they had a whole bunch of different cross-stitch patterns like this with different rug designs. But as I mentioned, she really loves the red, black, and gray, so that's what came home. Maybe if I can get it done in the next 5 or 6 years, I'll get it framed nicely and we can just hang it up in the living room or something like that. I teased on a recent live stream about this mystery package. This is going to be an upcoming video. I'm going to work on that also today. I'm going to see how many videos I can just knock out in one day. Inside this little, I don't know, box, package, container, whatever. But inside here is, whoops, let's try it this way. Inside here is one of those, it's a cordless electric scissors. So I'm going to be showing a little, not a tutorial, but a how did this work. And so I'll be having, whoa. So I'll be working on this afternoon, making a little video and show you guys how this tool works. I've never used electric scissors before. I have no idea how they're going to work. I'm going to test them live, so to speak, during the video, and we'll see how well it works. I like videos like that where the person just tries them, and if it works, great. If it doesn't work, if there's a little hiccup, you kind of see how it's going to be when you take something right out of the package and to see how it works. There's going to be a learning curve, but I see a lot of people are using these now. I could have used this last year when I was cutting up all of those strips of scraps and everything like that. It cuts through a lot of different things, so I'm going to go ahead and play with it during the video and we'll see how it does. So your scrappy word for today is duffel. Have you ever made your own duffel bag? Would you like to make a duffel bag? After I make the first, let me know and we can go ahead and do this on one of the weekend videos. You'll need to purchase some type of a pattern to make it yourself, but if you check on Etsy, I'll put a link down below in the description box for the shop that I purchased it at. They are really quick at shipping. I've purchased things from them a couple of times and I really enjoy going back to their shop to find things. Normally I go ahead and I get a PDF, but there wasn't a PDF available for this pattern, only the one that ships to you. So that's good too. I tend to purchase a lot of patterns and then I forget about them because I purchase them while they're on sale or if I'm out at a store somewhere and I see them and they're for making something in the future and then I forget about it and I never make it. So I need to make sure I have somewhere to store them. I think I'm going to look into the binder at Missouri Star. They have one for patterns, just like they have a binder for the templates. Thank you so much for the person that mentioned them. I think they were on sale. I don't know if they still are, the binders, but you can get one for your templates and one for your patterns and then just keep them on the bookshelf. And they're that really pretty aqua turquoise color. And then you'll know where everything is and you won't have to go hunting for it like I do. I still haven't unpacked a lot of stuff out in the garage, so I have no idea where half of my stuff is, and it's going to be like Christmas when I find everything. And it might not be until Christmas when I find it. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I hope to see you on Saturday on the live stream where we are going to finish up our pumpkins and hopefully just turn this into a little mini quilt top. I think I'm just going to keep sewing however long it takes until the top is finished. So thanks so much for hanging out with me. I'll see you later. Bye.